two brothers, and the daughter never knew what happened to her. And she said, and the daughter said, "Hey, please tell me what happened to my mother." So I told her the story, and she started to cry like unbelievable. And her mother never told her. She never went to interview because she refused to do that. So this is one of the little gross I had to tell you about. Anybody else? No? Okay, where? Oh, okay, go ahead.
How did you react when you found out that the war had ended?
Say that again?
How did you react when you found out the war had ended?
Yeah, how'd you react when you found out the war had ended?
Oh, that's a good one. When the war ended, we were free. We didn't know what to do. So we tried to go into the stores and rob the stores, like the cowboys. You remember going to the bank and robbing? So I used to go to the bakery and try to get some bread, and the guy hit me with a peel, and I didn't take any bakery. But the people who were in their 30s and the 40s, they ran into the banks. They took whatever was in the bank. They took all the jewelry, all the watches. And a matter of fact, my cousin has still a solid gold watch in his possession. And and he's going to give it to his son. That's from his father. And if I knew then what I knew after the war ended, I'd probably do the same thing. But I was looking for bread instead for gold. That answer your question? So I'm not. I don't care about money as long as I have a piece of bread and cheese to eat. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes.
What was your reaction when you saw Hitler?
Well, I had no reaction. I was 11 years old when he came by, and it was 1939. I wasn't even 12, and I didn't. Nobody said anything because we didn't know what was going on. The only thing is went on is the Kristallnacht. Anybody heard about the Kristallnacht? Anybody? Did you see me on TV? I was telling the story about Kristallnacht on Channel 11. That was on Friday. Was it Friday?
Oh, I heard. Yeah, I didn't hear the story, but I heard about it.
Yeah, and I told them about the Kristallnacht. When I was 11, now actually when I was 10, in 1938, that was Kristallnacht. And I had no idea what it was. What does 11 kid say about it? Nothing. Because I heard it on the radio. And my father used to go out, and he took me and said, "Come on, we'll hear the Hitler speech." And I didn't pay any attention. That was a year before the war, before he invaded Poland. So, 11-year-old kid, you go out and play. Anybody else? Yes.
How scarce was food?
Huh?
How scarce was food?
How scarce was food in the camps?
Oh, very, very scarce. They gave me a piece of bread in the morning, a thin slice, with a cup of coffee. They gave me a bowl of soup for lunch, and at night you had a bowl of soup with a slice of bread. That was all the food. We didn't have any fruit. We didn't have anything else. Now you try it. Have a piece of bread in the morning, a little soup, liquid, or maybe with one veggie, with rutabaga, and you'll see what happens. And when I get out of the camp, I weighed 70-some pounds. So as a 17-year-old boy, you should weigh a little bit more, maybe 71. So, does that answer your question? Okay, yes.
Considering everything that you've gone through and everything that you feel like today, what would you say is your biggest fear today?
Today? Well, I don't think it could happen today in our country because we are a little bit more sophisticated, and people would not let that happen. But it's a possibility a little bit going to the right. But something like this happened in 1939, no. But we should get more involved in the world affairs than we are today. So we got another, well, I'm going to say it anyway. We got another 2 years. Okay? So I don't know what to say on that. Yes or no? So that's I'm stopping right there on the political thing. Anybody else? Yes.
Were you ever able to forgive your fiance slowly?
Yes, I did. It was hard, but I did. Okay? You cannot hold a grudge, a hate for whatever people did. Now, not all the Germans were bad. Yeah, you have to understand. Maybe a quarter of the population. Maybe not even that. But they were forced, and they were afraid to open their mouth. The reason why? The minute they say something against, they got killed instantly, without a trial, without anything. So people were afraid. But here, we are not afraid. We say things what we want to hear, and we disown the people who come out from the closet and are speaking. And it's a lot of hate in this country, but it's still the best country to live in. And it's a lot of hate against the Jews, against the blacks, against the Muslims, and it's they say free speech. I believe in free speech, but you can't say a fly in the theater. So we have to be very, very vigilant. You know, I think each person deserves to live she or he the way they want it, and we do that. And I'm not afraid. And so it's still the best place to live in. Anybody else? Yes.
Do you know anybody who tried to escape?
Escape? Oh yes. A lot of, especially in Rudham, in the first camp. It's a lot of them, but I'll tell you one particular one. In the end of 1942, we were in Rudham. People start to escape, and they caught him. Some of them that got caught. And at least once a week, we had to go out to the electric barbed wire and watch their execution. So before we went to work, everybody had to get out, maybe 5, 6, 7, maybe sometimes 1. On the other side of the barbed wire, they kneeled down, they shot him in the head. Now, men and women. Women escaped too. And a lot of things, what they did to the men and what they did to the women, I will not tell you, because it's very, 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 very gross. So you can imagine what they did. So I can't tell you guys this. I can't. So you can imagine what they did before they shot him. Anybody else?
Time for maybe one more question. Sadly, we're up against.
Yes.
Do you regret not sharing your story sooner?
Do you regret not sharing your story sooner?
Yes and no. I could not go into my feeling. I'm still healing today. You know, a lot of things comes down, but I can't tell you. But if you some of the books, if you read, that's more involved because they cannot tell you what. Nobody's going to tell you the exact thing what they did to men and women, and teenagers, and so they did one thing to the teenagers and another thing to the grown up, and everything is 1,000 times worse what I'm telling you. Okay, if you individual. If you ask me, maybe I'll tell you, but I cannot tell you for you guys because you're too young. You'll never forget. You're gonna have dreams, but beyond your imagination, and it'll never get away from you